Hello, Shine.
Hi. Hi, Carolyn. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I am so pleased you have made it.
Thank you. I did.
Can you explain to listeners who will be watching and listening to this live broadcast where you come from and where you are at the moment?
Well, I live in a beautiful place in the world called Kerala. It's in the southern side of India. It's a very beautiful peninsula. We have so much of greeneries, and in fact, even we are surviving the COVID right now, and our ministry is doing a lot of things to fight against the COVID, and it is declining. COVID is kind of declining over here. And yes, I'm doing business. However, though I live in Kerala, I do business in in different countries, in South Africa, in the Europe, in other parts of the world. We are doing business through an ecosystem model, and that's what I do.
Shine, can you tell listeners how we met in terms of online, virtually?
Well, it's been, I think it's almost 15 years right now. The younger days of my career, I met you, and during the phenomenal days of Academy, I think I met you through Academy, and then yes, now recently we met through LinkedIn, and we started conversing, and yes, from there we got into this relationship. Yes,
and it's built over a period of 15 years in the background, because obviously you've been very, very busy. And I equally have been busy, and it's meant that LinkedIn linked us both together again.
Yes,
and
indeed.
The people that we knew from Academy, that was Thomas and Penny Power's Academy platform, were people that remained in touch, most of us, and we now are linking back through LinkedIn.
You're right.
I'm glad you see it, because I see it that people, as you quite rightly said, 15 years ago, met each other through Academy. We now, 2020, through COVID, are back in touch.
Indeed. Surprisingly, indeed.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Can you tell the listeners what your role is at the moment and your title?
Yeah. I'm basically I have two businesses. One is a pretty old business, which is called IMark Ventures, which is a venture development company. I help companies, startups, and entrepreneurs to create, companies, startups, and help it to grow global. That is one thing I do. Secondly, I'm the chairman of a global ecosystem called Marketnext. Marketnext is an ecosystem with presences in almost 20 countries. So it is a business platform which help entrepreneurs to connect with each other through various online meetings, physical meetings. We used to conduct a lot of international delegations to various countries, and the platforms are not completely digital because we have physical presence in almost these 20 countries. So it is a kind of a digital and a physical model driven by our chapters. We have, as I mentioned, we have chapters in South Africa, in UK, in Ethiopia, in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Canada, in the US, of course, India, and then we have in Zambia, in Botswana. So we are focusing more on the emerging markets to bring new innovations and new technologies to these emerging markets. However, we work with the developed countries also to provide them with a lot of hand-holding them with a lot of services. It's more like an internet of services. And then this ecosystem provides a lot of services to its members and for the non-members. So it's a kind of a trusted community we have created so far. So We are helping companies to grow beyond borders, facilitate investments and trade, creating new ventures, creating new partnerships and collaborations, exchange innovations, and a lot we are doing through our ecosystem.
That's a lot.
It is, indeed it is.
So the keywords that jumped out of that for me was collaboration,
Yeah.
globally market,
Yes.
creating,
Yes.
building,
Yes.
innovative,
Yes.
the digital aspect of growth in all these countries, and working through borders. So you're literally pushing through anywhere that you can build and sustain. So do you look at a sustainable model?
It's a very sustainable model. Yes. Yes.
You talked about this global business, and it is huge to listen to. Who was it that was your influencer when you were young? And did you sort of think to yourself, I want to be a whatever? And who was the influence in your life?
I'm still young. And
Great answer.
however, there are many, influences in different walks of our life. It's not just like Mahatma Gandhi is my influence, and not really like that. It's just, even anybody, even maybe a driver who you drive with, they might give you a sentence, a dose of prose, which could influence you. So for me, I am not kind of having a mentor or going behind a mentor. Rather, I'm open, observing how things are happening outside, observing how things are changing, how the world is changing, and based on that, I take decisions. Basically, I read, of course, books, and the model which I'm creating is it is not there already. I mean, it's something new which you are creating already. And sitting in India, and I don't see any platforms like this. Yes, there are, some platforms, but not exactly what we are doing. So it's always, and every day it is kind of a learning for me, learning from people, learning from everyone indeed. It's not just like, somebody is influencing, I mean, everyone influenced me. The nature influenced me, the universe influenced me to do actions, basically.
There was a quote by Bruce Lee who said the most dangerous person in the room was somebody who thought, observed, and listened.
That's it.
So it's the most dangerous person in the room.
Oh, really? I'm not that dangerous. Don't worry about me like that.
It's a quote I used for my speech when I graduated at London Rail, because I qualified as a counsellor in '93, which meant for years I spent listening to people's issues and helped them to try and build a different kind of life and to push through some of their problems. So there was a huge listening skill there. I call it active listening. You've got active listening. It's an amazing power that you have. But then you realize that when you go into business, you have to also have a voice, and therefore you have to command, have a commanding presence.
Absolutely, yeah.
And in the digital world, equally, this is vital that you have a commanding performance.
Absolutely. You said it.
So who would you say inspires you? If you could pick somebody who inspires you, who would it be?
I can't answer. There are a lot of people who influence me or inspires me, from my home, from the people who I work with, my colleagues, my kids, my friends, a lot of people, my, well-wishers. There are so many people because I'm in a business of people. So I I interact with a lot of people, So they say, Shine, you're doing something good. You must do this. You must do like that. You help us like this and that. And so I'm in the business of helping people, in fact, entrepreneurs, especially SMEs, like small and medium enterprises. So I think I'm adding a lot of value to their life or their business. And so I'm in the helping business here, you see. So that inspires me, helping people, that always inspires me. Indeed.
So you're a people person, you've got people skills. And
I guess.
Yes, you have. And as a result of your skills and experience, can you tell us who you're targeting as an audience right now?
I didn't ask, you mean about the ecosystem, or you mean about anything else, or?
No, currently your work is collaborative.
Mm-hmm.
And currently your work is to build the relationship in the digital aspect of your work. So it's IMark Global. So in that respect, what is it and which audience are you targeting?
Right, I got it. So, Marketnext basically service multiple segments of businesses. So we work with the service providers who provide services to the ecosystem. Then the second type of entrepreneurs are SMEs, like small and medium manufacturers or solution providers. Then another segment is innovators who has, a particular innovation or a disruption with them. The fourth one are, investors who are looking at investing in different, good opportunities. Then we also partner with governments because, we work with, as a knowledge partner for various governments also, because we promote entrepreneurship and innovation. So government help us, they provide us a lot of with the platform to interact with the entrepreneurs in the country which we operate. And then, of course, the business aspirants, people who are about to start a new business. So we give them a lot of new opportunities and new insights, new knowledge and stuff like that. And then, of course, we are looking at knowledge partners who are specialists in, certain niches. Like we have people from the academia, we have partners from the knowledge partners from technology, from innovation, from engineering, from international trade, FDI consulting, experts who set up technology parks, smart cities, and those kind of people. So, we cater to a large segment of people, and we partner and we collaborate. When we talk about ecosystem, it needs a lot of things to sustain. It is the sustainable model basically. It's a base. So we work with a wide, type of organizations.
Everything you talk about, Shine, is massive. It is global. So how do you manage to balance your work and have a home life with your family?
That is a big question. I'm too dedicated to the business, to the project which I'm building right now. So home is following my vision, and they are supporting the way I'm going because they know that I'm building something with passion. So it's not that they are not here to pester me to, pressure to spend more time and stuff like that. Rather, they give me the way for me to do things because they know that I'm building something very unique and it requires a lot of efforts and, time and stuff like that. So I balance because they understand things. So it's I'm balancing it somehow. I don't know how deep it is, but I'm somehow balancing that.
That sounds healthy for me because obviously for 30 years, most of my work has been in the well-being industry.
Yeah.
Therefore, I asked you that question.
And of course, I do find time for myself to stay in silence, to meditate, to do some little bit of exercise and stuff like that. So I do spend time with my very, very close friends once in a while too. So I'm balanced. I'm not saying that I'm imbalanced. Yes, there are stress and I'm enjoying it, However, holistically, somehow I'm managing it.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, it is.
And it's good to hear that you meditate, because lots of my posts are about meditation, and I use the sea because I live by the sea. It was a choice I made. It was a choice I made for the children who are now grown up, but it means that when they come back, they can enjoy the ocean.
I back that, because every day 10-15 minutes, if you stay in silent, you meditate, you will connect with the infinite intelligence. Basically, you make yourself a lot of relaxed. You have some flow of dopamine or serotonin, and you feel relaxed and balanced. And of course, there are, I can tell 100 things, but not now. Maybe at another time I can tell. But meditation really helps for releasing stress and to make yourself balanced and grounded.
Yes. We are in a semi-lockdown situation still here in the UK. It's only just beginning to ease. Okay. To a point of, there was a rule where you could exercise once a day. Now the rule has changed and you can exercise for longer. So, so the person here who's exercised most of her life is very pleased to have that ruling given us by the government. And I listened to your target audience, and you talked about governments, and it was a need of mine to interview the leader of Swansea City. Oh. And that's because we currently have a city that's had great investment, great development, and he actually leads from the front. And through COVID, I have been encouraged rather, to see that he posts daily the development that he's pushed through the last couple of years. He still is on top of it. Okay. So having interviewed him, I met somebody with massive energy, massive drive, massive ambition, but somebody who is loyal and determined to finish the race. And so you're the second person I've interviewed, equally of the same caliber, in terms of you have energy, you have drive, you have commitment, you have resilience. And so the level at which you talk about in government gives me heart, because obviously in this country, and maybe in yours, I don't know, you'll have to tell me, but in this country, we are looking at Boris to lead. Okay. And he's had a tough deal, because he's had to lead through Brexit, and now he's had to lead through COVID. So it's been a massive challenge to him. So would you say you see the same in your government?
Well, each country, in fact, it is different. The requirements are different. The approach is different. We are taking a lot of measure to battle the current COVID situation. But however, even the post-COVID era also, I'm sure that we are going to face a lot of problem, because a lot of NRIs are coming back to India. So our government is trying their level best to, balance the situation. However, all the governments in some point or other way, they are struggling at this moment. So, and there is an element of unknown there. Nobody knows what is going to happen next. So there is no data for them. It's all opinions which is coming right now. There is no data. So with data, with only data, the government or any organization can take a calculated or come with facts and figures. So now it's all options and opinions, and even all governments are kind of in the dark. So all are waiting, all are struggling. So it's a time, we are looking at supporting the government, whatever they are doing. I think they are doing good for the society and the humanity, all the governments. So rather than pinpointing the negative parts of it, I rather, prefer to stay and support the activities each and everyone is taking, and to be with them. So I don't have any problem so far with the activities here.
And that's really healthy to hear. It's a very positive way of looking at it. And it also picks up the point you made about startups, because many companies would have probably disappeared, and yet many companies equally would have foreseen that through a colossal experience such as this COVID, that they would have put measures in place and survive. But where your startups are concerned, how do you see your mentoring in your mentorship for new startups?
See, as I mentioned earlier, it's all about observing the opportunities right now. There are going to be a lot of requirements that will be sufficing during this time. So what we advise the organizations is, rather than jumping to opinions, wait and see what's happening and observe the opportunities, test the waters, and then move according to that. So it's all about, understanding what is sufficing, because a lot of disruption will be happening with the COVID. And it is not going to be the same thing anymore, the way people live, the way people travel, the way people think, at least for a couple of years. So here, organizations and startups, not only startups, any organization need to, say, wait, we need to, understand, we need to look, we need to see things, how things are changing in terms of employment, in terms of new opportunities, getting new investors and stuff like that. Or maybe they need to stop certain of their activities and start focusing or creating new income streams. So, it's a time where they need to pause a bit.
That's
and
innovation.
See. Absolutely.
Innovation.
So that's what I tell our mentees, in fact, to look at opportunity, and rather than jumping and getting strained yourself. Stay a bit, wait a bit, breathe, observe, and see what's happening, and then move according to that.
Being that dangerous person in the room.
Oh, really?
Bruce Lee quote.
I'm not.
It's true. It's true. You have a sense of humor. What makes you laugh?
Me?
Yes.
Normal things. I'm a very, very simple, non-complex, simple man. I laugh at anything. I laugh at, even silly jokes. I laugh at silly movies. I laugh at, little mistakes. I'm easy to laugh. I laugh most of the time, so it's fine.
Laughter is medicine. Good medicine. Absolutely,
I agree. It's medicine indeed.
The innovation part and the new startups, with COVID, people have had to adapt and become flexible, even from a social level. And as I posted yesterday, the missing of people in your family members, not being able to hug them.
Okay.
The ruling here in this country, literally today, was we can now see our family, but no hugging.
Yeah.
So there are pressures on people, pressures of changing behaviors, changing attitudes, changing the psychology, changing the business, which is what you've just discussed.
Right.
Would you have any advice for people in terms of, you've been in your global e-market business for some time, what advice would you give somebody similarly in your field?
Two things. On a personal level, stay healthy and do exercise in the way they can, and stay fit. And second thing is go digital.
Go digital.
Go digital, because that is the best way they can, expand their business. If their business can be digitalizable, it's a new term, in fact. Better go digital and make connections global, meet people globally, online, sell their products online, sell more services online. So whatever they are doing, let them go digital, make the new digital models, new digital income streams, and it's the best thing which they can do to battle the current situation right now.
So there is a lot of calmness in that, isn't there? There's a lot of quietening down in that internally.
I can't see that, in fact, because people are stressed inside. There is a lot of questions coming, the mind of people. It's not that everybody, the thing, when you look at things are calm, but it is not the real calm. People are afraid inside. People don't know what's happening there. People don't know what their income is going to be, their job's going to be, the security going to be. So the calmness, which we are seeing, is the calmness of the sky before a storm.
Yes.
Yes. So, people need to get coached and trained now, how to handle this particular situation, to be stress-free and stuff like that. But I don't think that it is a real, the calmness people are going to right now.
And
that is my opinion.
That comes back to meditation.
Absolutely. I mean, of course, meditation or staying in silent or even talking to the people. See, another major health hazard is, as a human being, as a social animal, when we are isolated, it is also going to harm a lot of, it is going to create a lot of health issues as well. Especially, our behaviors will be affected because of the social, distancing, or because of the isolation, social isolation and stuff like that. So people are going through some kind of, internal change, which again, we don't have data to say which is going to be good or bad. But I think after talking to a lot of people, what I understand is, yes, it is not the calmness which people are showing. It is actually they're afraid, so they are silent.
Yes, the fear is sitting still.
Yes.
And to get through that, there has to be action and becoming creative. And yes. That's, again, something I compliment you, because I've been in this kind of well-being world for such a long time that I've evolved even personally, and we're always learning, and the student is the teacher. Okay. And so that was something that I have to give him a compliment here. Warren Gatland said to me when I interviewed him, because he was leading us into winning a lot of our Grand Slams here in Britain.
Okay. Interesting.
And I interviewed him and I asked him, what was his kind of guiding line? And he said, well, I believe, because he was looking at mentoring the rugby players, he said, they teach me, he said. They teach me.
Okay.
And I thought that was such a refreshing way to look at life, the other way around.
Okay,
And so I see that where COVID is concerned, this is all new to us, everybody will have to adjust in whatever way. But to have that ability to remain calm and to observe, but to act, because the dangerous person in the room right now is Shine Gopal, because I heard you say so many times that you're observing, and go digital, go market, go global, go digital.
Absolutely.
Yes. Is there anything
global,
else?
Go digital. Yeah, it's a combo right now with us.
It is. So if you had a slogan and a logo right now, what would it be?
Stay, go global, go digital. Simple as it is.
Yes. Can you repeat that again? Repeat it.
Go global and go digital.
Go global and go digital. In this country, the messages have been stay at home. And then everybody got confused because it was stay alert.
Yeah.
Now it's go global.
Yeah, I'm talking about our business model.
Of course. But there are many people listening here. So, in terms of building the new kind of way of a business and relating to other businesses and going global, go digital. Even I, in the last 2 weeks, was asked to become a guest on Business Networking International. It's a networking group that is in every city. Every city has them. And they were people who were still coming to terms with the digital Zooming. Because people have had to start Zooming. And it creates panic, it creates anxiety, it creates panic. especially if you've got 50 people in the room. And you're having to do breakout rooms and you're having to do meetings outside. So what would your advice be in that situation?
See, on a business perspective, you know, it's where, you know, we need to understand the requirement of the people who are gathering together in a digital format and so on. So we need to be, you know, we cannot make it 100% system driven or, you know, because the requirements varies. Maybe people need to break out and form different subgroups based on the interest. Because when we build such a large, massive, you know, ecosystem, there are different type of people from different verticals, with different industrial domains, different functional domains joins together. So, you know, we cannot drive the program like for everyone. So what we do is we create clusters for each different, you know, business, industries. And we need to divide it based on interest. We need to subdivide it and break out it or whatever we call it. And then, or maybe we cluster it. And that is the best way to make the right outcome out of an activity. See, because we are not just like a networking platform like BNI. We are getting more into relationship through a structured model to make new ventures, you know, make trade happen, transactions happen. So it's a little more, you know, deeper. It is not peripheral. It is not just like handshaking and say bye. No, it's more into, you know, connecting with the people for a particular project. We have different sort of project. For academia, we have teams. For you know, manufacturing, we have team. For F&B, we have team. For technology, we have team. For science, we have team. So like that, it is you know, it is so that is very much essential to have small, or we need to have different clusters for each industrial vertical. That is a way we can build it sustainable.
Again, compliments to you, because that's a huge chunk to foresee. It's visionary. So you're obviously a visionary, and it was why I asked you to do this live with me, because I can see that. And so what I would ask you there in terms of the UK, because obviously I live in Wales, which is a part of the UK.
Okay.
And we have Scotland and we have Northern Ireland, but we are part of the UK. Did you visit the UK? Because I looked into your profile and I saw that you studied here.
No, we have done a program in India with the Sussex University. The program happened in India.
Did you study here though, Shine?
No. It was the program worked in India. The program wasn't in India, conducted by the Sussex University over here.
So you've never been to London?
No, not yet.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you had an invite, you know, where would you go in the world at the moment?
At the moment, I will not go anywhere. I'll stay here. I don't want to go anywhere at this moment, at this time.
Yes, I hear you.
Maybe I'm joking. I'm joking. Maybe. My major focus is emerging markets.
Yes.
Emerging markets are the markets which is now growing. You know, South Asian countries, African countries. So these are the market there that, you know, the middle income groups are rising. The population is rising. They have a lot of requirements. They need new products. They need new innovations. They need education, this, that, and that. However, when you look at the emerged markets or the developed countries, you know, there is, you know, it is such, I mean, I'm not saying the term saturated, but it is. So I love to be in the emerging market. That is our primary markets.
That's a growth mindset you have there.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Brian Rose?
Brian Rose. Yes,
the founder of London Rail.
Yes, from you, yes, I heard that.
From me?
You, yeah.
So yes. I shall let Brian know that I'm the one that's introduced you to Brian Rose digitally.
Yes. Yeah,
one of the things that Brian, on his life, he has programs that he mentors, and there are four. One is the Life Accelerator.
Mm-hmm.
And on the Life Accelerator, he was advocating that you followed the fitness, obviously, the sleeping pattern, all the well-beingness of health and maintaining that. But he also advocated having a media diet. So
Okay.
do you have that kind of analogy in terms of a media diet as part of your health?
Yeah, I am on low carb diet. I don't eat much of this carbs, like in India, especially in our place. From morning, lunch, dinner, everything consists of so much of carbohydrates. The rice, basically the white rice and the brown rice and idli, dosha, a lot of stuffs are there. But when you come here, I'll take you to those restaurants to eat this kind of food. But every in the morning to the evening, and all our meals consist of this this carbs. So I don't eat much carb in the morning. I don't take carb at all. Lunch a little carb and dinner also a little carb. So that is one thing. I'm on a little higher side on the protein diet with a little bit of supplements. That's what I do. However, that is the only thing. I'm not too fussy about the diet thing and nothing like that. It's just keep your mind free, body fit and emotions fit.
Yes, that's the aspect of media diet was something I'm teasing you with. And
okay.
The media part would be that you'd switch the iPhone off, you'd switch the TV off, you'd switch, you'd switch the Zoom off.
Not really. I am always on. But in the middle of all these things, I'll get my 7 hours sweet sleep, so it's fine with me.
And that's how you balance it.
Yeah, that's how I balance it inside. Yes.
So, do you sleep? Are you somebody that has good sleep?
Yeah, I have no problem with sleep. 7 hours is enough for me, and I usually get 7 hours of sleep most of the days. 1 or 2 days, sometimes here and there, it's fine. But otherwise, 7 hours is good for me.
Arianna Huffington on LinkedIn, she has been posting an awful lot of indications and guidelines on getting enough sleep, which was why I prompted asking you the question. Because LinkedIn is a platform we both are very active. And I follow Arianna Huffington because she invited Jay Shetty to start his platform. And I've got a lot of admiration in how she did that, because we had spoken to Jay Shetty prior in London through Thomas Power's WhatsApp. That's how we started. And the next minute he goes, because of that invite, and as you can see, he's global. And you're global. So you need to have people to invite you, like the Arianna Huffington people of this world.
Yes, surely, definitely. And after the COVID weekend, we are planning to have a India, global summit where we are bringing in people from different parts of the world to India. Or each year we are planning to do the same summit in one of the countries where we operate, and that is something which we are planning. And we would like to see people like this to be a part of the program, where who are compassionate and who has the empathy to support each other. So that is a kind of a network which we are building, and the activities which are doing right now.
I'll finish on my last question to you, and it would be something in terms of you now go back to being a young man and a young boy, and you still are. So it shouldn't be too long for you to get there. So what would you say to that young person now that you've had all these experiences? What would be the advice you'd give yourself at the younger age?
Nothing to change. I don't want him to do any change at all, because he's the one who made me, and I'm so glad that that little boy, the naughty little boy, the hyperactive little boy is who made me, though. So no advice to him, because he knows he's the one who took me here. So I'm happy with it. No change.
That's lovely to hear, Shine. What is your aspiration, the next aspiration?
Aspiration in terms of what? Is that, you're asking
What do you
about a
want to
personal
achieve?
one or a
What would you like to
one?
achieve next?
See, the next project which I'm working on right now could be this a sustainable entrepreneurial retreat, which we are planning to build in different parts of the world. The details and all we can discuss later, but this sustainability in entrepreneurship is something, protecting the people, profit and planet, of course. That is what we need to teach the people.
Yes.
So that is something which I have a passion to, and that is a project after this, the next phase, or in the next time, in next phase, of course, we are planning to do that. So the planning is going on. We are ideating it. We are discussing with people, and that is my major project, the next project.
I hear constantly throughout all this conversation that you be kind to people, be kind to the planet, be kind
Absolutely.
to one another.
Absolutely. When you are you, then you don't need to pretend that you are somebody else. And that is a freedom which you will get to do bigger things in life.
Yeah.
So most of the people here, a lot of people, they are afraid of a lot of things, so they pretend. So it's not the time for pretend. It is, be who you are and what you are, with your strengths and with your weaknesses, and go forward with all your energy. You can achieve anything in your life. That is what I believe. You don't have to be anybody else. You don't need to speak Oxford English. You don't need to be this and you don't have to be that. Still, you can do things and you can make things happen. You can help people and you can add value to people's life.
Add value is a huge component of your business.
Absolutely. Personally or by business, it's all about, unless and until if you don't add value to people's life, then what is the point of the profit? You don't need much money to live a decent life, right?
No.
When you try to do something bigger than that, you need to really help people out, right?
And I am very grateful to you giving me an olive branch through LinkedIn, inviting me to expand my vision. And so I'd like to finish this recording that's going to go onto YouTube when we finish, and to listeners in both London here, real people, American real people that are members, and members of our platforms on LinkedIn. And I'd like to thank you so much for reaching all the way from India, even telling me the time zones, dropping me the converter time zone, which helped.
You're welcome so much. And thank you for your efforts, and all the best for your venture. And I'm happy that I could add some value to your vision as well. And yes, together we can do a lot of things. Each and everyone can collaborate. Yes, we can.
We both have the same philosophy.
Absolutely, yes.
Have a lovely, lovely day, the rest of it.
Thank you so much. Same to you. And thank you once again for all the efforts. Good day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.